Checkity check. We're good to go. What is going on, everybody? Welcome into the Red Seed live stream. I am your host, Corbin. What's going on tonight, folks? Mr. Money Mike Madness. Creates a class for Mike to being, he's always legitimately the first chat on every single one of these. Really, really impressive. Tristan, how are you? Is it the real Tristan? The world may never know. Jack, how you doing? G, what's up? CW. Should use the Rafi Photoshop over my dead body. Perpetual. What's going on, my friends? How you doing? JC. Hey, you can watch the Celtics and me at the same time. I don't know. What up, Mr. Mad? The man, the myth, the legend. Manny, how you doing? Todd, how are you? Spencer, what's going on? More and more I see/hear. Nesson put a camera in, and we'll watch and listen to the sounds of the ballpark. Sox play more and more. 50 bet to win. Yeah, it looks good, man. It looks good. Speed Racer, how you doing? Robbie, my moderator's in the building. What's going on, folks? Lawson says extend crochet, please. That would be nice. We are getting into extension conversations, I think, at this point, right? This is why we're going. This is the time of year to do it, huh? Yeah, crochet was disgusting today. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous that Nesson refuses to air it. It's actually unbelievable. What's up, Ansu? It's absolutely unbelievable, right? Today was a fantastic game. You had Story doing well, Crochet dominating, Bregman hitting a triple, Miguel Blaze's first appearance in a Red Sox uniform this spring with a hit. I mean, all this sort of stuff, and we just didn't get any of it. Yeah, Yoshida on top of that too, also playing really well. And we didn't see any of it. And as much as I love listening to the radio, it's tough for me to listen to the radio while I'm at work. Like watching the games, it makes it so much easier. But because I can't watch the game, I don't know. So it's driving me nuts. Hopefully they get back to a regular scheduled program here soon. Are we in World Series talk? Should be. What's up, Mr. Bob Dylan? Yeah, me and the Celtics. It feels like it's been a little bit. Oh man, I got that hair sticking up again. This always drives me nuts. Yeah, it's nowhere, John. It didn't get televised at all. Someone had a dugout angle of crochet. Yeah, I saw that. I love those angles, but it'd be so much easier if I could just watch it. With the Nesson subscription I pay for. It drives me crazy. You're going to the futures game. Dude, next year, chat. Next year, I'm going down there. Here's my plan for next year. I've already thought about it. I'm gonna rent a Airbnb down there next year. I'm gonna set up all my camera and stuff. We're just gonna go live. I'm gonna go to spring training every single day, and I'm just gonna go live from spring training, and we're gonna watch things together, and then we'll come back to our Airbnb. We'll go live again, and then we'll talk about everything. I want to do it so bad. I just haven't been able to do it. Yeah, it sounds like a cool idea. I haven't had the time. Like, I'd love to go down there for a week and then just get everything going. I don't know. Any concerns yet on Hendricks? I'm not concerned really about any pitcher right now, to be honest with you. It is just way too early. Like, if it was a little bit later, maybe, but not yet. Not yet. In all honesty, I'd prefer that he got all of his sort of kinks out of the way now before the regular season, right? You kind of want to see him work through things before we get to the regular season. I would rather him, mess around with some things. I'd rather him try some things that don't work, and then and then hopefully get it ready to go for opening day here. So that's going to be kind of the topic of today's live stream, I think. Couple of news items relating to what the Red Sox roster could look like come opening day, right? I think that's going to be a big theme throughout the offseason. Core pretty much confirmed. Yeah, G. That it's either going to be. So we'll start there, I guess. For those of you, this will probably be my video tomorrow too, by the way. So if you guys don't want to listen to this, you want to watch tomorrow, that would help a lot. No, I'm just kidding. I think so. Just a couple of minutes ago, Boston Strong tweeted out that Alex Cora confirmed he's going to start on the IL. I have not seen that anywhere else. The only place that I've seen that is Boston Strong, so I don't know. Right? Let me check Gordo. Let me see what he said. Mentioned it with Lauren Shahady and CY on MLB Network. G, are you following me on Twitter? Is there a clip? What's up, Steven? Liking what you're seeing? Yeah. Yeah, they looked good this week. They did look good this week. The Corbinator. So anyways, yeah. Cutter, it appears as, I mean, that's not really a surprise, right? I think we've sort of been assuming Cutter Crawford's going to be the guy that's going to end up on the IL to start the year. It never really sounded like he was getting much better. I don't know, right? It always just sort of sounded like he was going to start in the IL. So not really surprised there. But again, like we've been saying, I personally think right now, Quinn Priester might have the upper hand here when it comes to who's going to end up on this opening day roster for the Sox. They honestly might not even go with a starter, right? They might go with a bullpen arm and just do a 5-man rotation. Because right now they've got, unless Bayo starts the year on the IL, which it doesn't totally sound like he will. It kind of sounds like he's going to be, maybe they put him on the 10-day or something. But it doesn't really sound like he's going to be out for a while. So the question then becomes, do they want to go with, hey, we want another starter in this rotation, or we want another arm in the bullpen? And I wonder if that's where a guy like Cooper Criswell makes sense, right? Because that way you could have a guy in the bullpen, but he can also start, and he's used to doing that, right? He's done that multiple times before. This is a guy who, could give you 3 innings out of the bullpen and then give you 4 innings to start a game, right? That's sort of what he's done. That's what he did last year. It's what he's done throughout his career, kind of. So, in my opinion, that could be the way the Red Sox go with this. But right now, I think personally, if they are going to go with a starter, I think it's Priester. Priester, yeah. So the big reason for me is because Priester's velo is up, his swing and miss is up. Although we could say the same thing about Fitz, I just think Priester's got a little bit more, experience as like a short term addition. So to the Corbin parlays this season, yeah, I know, dude. I was doing really well last year towards the end of the year. I was doing pretty well. Do we want a Golden Knight? I was thinking about that. By the way, This is totally off topic. My fiance just texted me. Do we want another Golden Knight? I was thinking about some fun ones, but I didn't know if you guys were into it again. But anyways, back to Priester. Yeah, I just think with more major league experience, I think this is the kind of guy that you sort of do it. They sort of have, the only problem is Alex Cora was like, look, the only way we're doing a 6-man rotation is if we're fully healthy, right? Cutter Crawford not being here means you're not fully healthy. So if you're not fully healthy and you don't want to do the 6-man, does that kind of put Quinn Priester into this sort of Cooper Criswell-esque role last year where he's both? I don't know, right? I don't know. I don't know. To me, with Quinn Priester, he's either one or the other, right? He's either a starter or a reliever. It's an interesting conversation now, because now that becomes a question on the roster, right? And there are a lot of questions on the roster right now. There are a lot, to be honest with you. I think second base is the biggest one, right? Tactical came in here. What would you do with the Devers Bregman situation? The way I've looked at it for a while is I think Massa is going to start in the IL, which opens things up a bit. However, he's looking good, right? Obviously, we can't see the games because heaven forbid they get shown on TV. But from what we've heard, here, Masa is killing it in spring training, right? He's hitting lefties, he's hitting righties, he's hitting the ball in the air. He looks comfortable. That's a legitimate threat in this lineup. All of a sudden, now the question becomes, is it worth Masataka Yoshida being on this everyday lineup to start the year? Because if it is, then you can't really have the conversation about Devers and Bregman, right? The only solution there is Devers at third, Bregman at second. And honestly, that's the other thing too, is we'll talk about it as we get through the video today, as we get through the live stream today. But it kind of sounds like Christian Campbell they don't think he's ready for Major League Baseball to start the year. Do I think Luis Guerrero could become a closer? Yeah, I did a whole video about it. I absolutely believe so. Okay, kind of off topic. I do want to go back to the goals a little bit. I did have two thoughts in mind here. One was every 3 donations we get, I'm going to put on another hat, and we're just going to go through the stream, see how many we can get on my head. The second thing was maybe a bigger goal, maybe a longer term goal. We sort of put it for like 20, 30 donations, and then we do either a adult beverage stream, because I can't say drinking, or we do a gaming stream. If that's something you guys are interested in, let me know, and I will set up the goal. But I don't know. I thought that'd be kind of a funny thing to do. What games? It'd probably be MLB The Show, right? I'd probably play MLB The Show with you guys. Like, I would set up my PlayStation to stream on YouTube. And then like on a Friday night or something, and just play with viewers for like 4 hours or something. You know, watch the games together. Yeah, co-op, either co-op or 3-inning games. That was kind of my thought process if we hit a larger goal. So maybe I'll set that up, and we'll do that at some point if we hit it. Let's do 30 super chats, and I can only do 3 hours. That's ridiculous. I'm just gonna have to remember, I think. I'm just gonna remember to have a Red Sea Take Gaming live stream. There. All right, so now we've got a goal. I'm just gonna keep that out there, and then once we hit that goal, we'll plan a live stream. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to write it down by the time we get to the end of the stream. Sorry, Chad. I got a lot of stuff going on. Let me see. Where was I? That's 6, Spencer. I'd love to do that. Am I righty or lefty? Righty. Harold Reynolds. I none of the MLB Network guys mean anything to me, if we're being honest. Like those guys, I don't know. Do membership donations count towards the total? I don't know what you mean by that. What's my favorite number? Well, I wore 24 and 25 in high school, so probably that. Do I have NESN 360? I do. Someone said it would be sus if the Red Sox. Oh, it was Joe. Would be sus to IL Yoshida when he's played in spring training. I don't know that that's really true. Like, if the Red Sox goal is to get him onto the field, and batting him every day is going to elongate that process, him getting back onto the field, I don't know that it's really a terrible idea for him to start on the IL. Set the goal of, I did 30 super chats because I wanted it to be a loftier goal to get to, right? So we don't get it in like 10 minutes like we did last stream, which was crazy. I want this one to sort of play out a little bit, and then whenever it comes, Devers going to be the opening day DH? I don't know, man. I really don't. Shout out Samuel. Thanks for watching, my friend. It sent me the regarding Cutter. It's around the middle. Okay, G. I'll take a look at it after. Thank you. I can't play it on stream, which is annoying, but... Thoughts on Campbell losing the ability to hit this spring? It's not, in my opinion, it's not really an inability to hit. Sitting here and trying to debate spring training statistics is tough, right? It's tough. We could sit here all we want and be like, oh, Campbell's not hitting whatever. He could get to the regular season and lock in, and all of a sudden he's, hitting 350, right? Obviously that's a bit of an exaggeration, but it's tough to do that. It's tough. It's just, the thing with this is that it's not, like, it would be different if Bregman was struggling, right? If Bregman was struggling, you'd sit here and you'd say, okay, we know what he can do. We know he's just like Casas, right? Casas isn't hitting super well this spring. What's he hitting? I don't even know if he has a hit yet, right? I don't think he does. Let me see. He may have a hit. He has one hit in 15 plate appearances, right? But you sit here and you say, he has a double, right? So you sit here and you say, I don't think Tristan Casas is going to hit 091 with a 515 OPS this season, right? But with Campbell, it's a little bit of a different story because he's trying to make the team, so he should be trying. I don't know. It's tough because you don't want to sit here and, again, you're what, 6 games in to spring training and be like, man, this guy just doesn't have it. But, like, you're starting to hear whispers. Alex Cora, the way he's talking about it, he knows what he needs to work on. There's stuff he needs to work on, right? It sounds like he's not ready. It sounds like they don't think he's ready. I don't know. Grissom's been more underwhelming. But I think the thing with Grissom... Let me see what Grissom's doing. Grissom's hitting 125 in 6 games. Campbell's hitting... I have to spell out an entire minor leaguer's name for that to come up. Campbell's hitting 067 in 7 games. So Campbell's been better than Grissom? Statistically, no. Statistically, he has not been better than Grissom. Thoughts on Sandoval? I just saw that he isn't out for the season. The guy has a valuable season. Yeah. Ugly defense. Grissom had one bad play. It's, again, this is the problem, right? Is you sit here with 6 games and you go, he hasn't looked good. But this is what I mean, right? In another 6 games, we could be like, oh, Grissom's figured it out, right? We're sitting here right now and saying David Hamilton looks like the starting second baseman. He does, right? He genuinely looks fantastic right now on the field and in the batter's box. But in a week, what is that going to look like? I don't know. It's a tough conclusion to come to. You know what I mean? They should have already traded Campbell. They missed the window. No. Does Trace Thompson crack the roster? The problem with Trace Thompson is he's not on the 40-man roster, so either someone would have to start on the 60-day or you'd have to get a DFA in there to get him on there. Pac-Man, I don't know where you saw that. It's not true. Yeah, Thompson looks great. He had another big game today, didn't he? No, I don't think it's Thompson versus Ref Snyder. I really don't. Yeah, he's hitting 278 with 3 home runs this spring. My God. What's up, Bezad. Hopefully I said that right. What up, Braden? But I'd rather have Nick Sogard or Trace Thompson. Nick Sogard. 1,000% Nick Sogard. It's not even close. I'll tell you exactly why. He's got more versatility. He hits for higher average, strikes out less, and he hits from both sides of the plate. Hey, appreciate you, Zachary. Thank you. Right? Like you sit here and 10 games in, Grissom might be like Dahlbeck, rakes in the minors, but okay. So what led you to this conclusion though? What led you to that conclusion, Steve-O? George Lombard? Yeah, who? Right? Who? I don't know. Like right now, I think second base is the biggest question for the Red Sox. It also kind of depends on Rafi, right? Is Rafi going to be ready to go for opening day? They pushed him back a little bit by his request, right? It wasn't so much that he was injured still. It said his timing isn't there. Which okay, fine, right? So many people are like, "Oh God, here we go." Right? No. Rafi is one of the better hitters in the game. Right? Rafi's one of the better hitters in the game. He's going to do his thing. I like doesn't smell good with Rafi. This is what I'm saying, right? Like he says, "Hey Cora, look, my timing's just not there yet. Give me another few days. Let me get it, and then let me start regular games. And I'll be good to go for regular season." It has nothing to do with his injury. People are immediately like, the shoulder appears to be way worse than it is. They're hiding something. No. It's a timing thing. It's his timing to the ball. Because you got to remember, this offseason wasn't so much Rafael Devers getting ready for 2025 in the box. It was Rafael Devers getting ready for 2025, rehabbing and sort of strength and conditioning. That's his way of saying he's not happy. But now we're just making assumptions, right? Now we're just making assumptions. That's a crazy assumption to make off of him just saying, I need more time to get my timing right. No indication anywhere that Rafi isn't currently happy with the Boston Red Sox. There's not one indication. Right? There's not one. In fact, everything we've seen from him, he's happily playing with Alex Bregman. It's not like these two are standing off in the clubhouse. I don't know. I think people immediately saw the Rafael Devers news with everything that's happened so far and immediately jumped to these crazy conclusions. But I don't know that there's anything in there that says anything. Fishing pick? Yeah, I did actually. What do I think? Do you think we won the Nick York trade? I don't know. Right? I don't know. We'll see. This isn't a we'll see, right? Rafi has been pretty open. It's not like Rafi's like people are mad at him for not hiding it. And now we're saying he is hiding it. Conversation between Ortiz and Devers. Can I just find that? I don't speak Spanish. Yeah, G, do it again. Because I genuinely, I can't find the conversation. But we know he's frustrated, right? We know he's frustrated. I don't think that's like a crazy thing. Spencer Jones for Rafael and Sandlin. Why? Spencer Jones for Rafi. Out. Get him out. Do you think we won the White Sox trade? The season hasn't even started yet. Right? Season's never started yet. Todd, do you genuinely think in your heart of hearts that this 1 week where Christian Campbell in 7 games has not performed well, that his stock has totally plummeted? Sandy Alcantara? No. Then why are you saying it was never higher than 2 weeks ago, right? Campbell can't hit. It's been a singular week. 1 week. 1 week of spring training. And even if he's not ready for Major League Baseball, you guys are acting like he's some failed prospect because of spring training. Right? Like here's the problem. Here's the problem with fans like this is if Christian Campbell was doing incredibly well, they'd be sitting there going, it's just spring training. They're playing minor leaguers, right? He's not even playing big league stuff. He hasn't felt the pressure of Fenway. We don't know that he's ready. But now that he's stinking it up, right? People are sitting there saying this guy sucks. Can't hit. Marcelo Meyer, in my opinion, is the most ready out of any prospects. Marcelo, he looks ready. He really does. Like, you know how sometimes, and again, we're talking about spring training, right? We're talking about spring training. But if we're talking about guys who look ready, of the 3 of these guys, Marcelo's been the cleanest, I think. Roman's hitting pretty well, too. Pretty well, too. I don't know. Small sample size at this point. Yeah, again, right? Like we could sit here and debate till our eyes turn red, right? And then 2 weeks from now, the entire conversation could totally change. Can they start Marcelo? So they haven't been playing Marcelo at second base much. They've been playing him at third and shortstop. So I'm not sure that they want him at second base just yet, which is interesting. Is Bayo on track for opening day? Close, right? It'll be close. Right now he's on the right direction, right? He's moving the right way, which is good. He just threw a bullpen. He'll probably throw another bullpen at some point this week. Hopefully get into game action at some point in the next week, probably later next week. So moving in the right direction. I don't know how much time he's going to need and how careful the Red Sox are going to be with it. Which is why again, you sit back and you say, okay, right. Now Richard Fitz and Quinn Priest are sort of in the spotlight. How do they do? Because they genuinely, I'm sorry. I'm looking at Roman Anthony's 6 games, and again, it's a 6-game sample size, right? But 4 walks, 4 RBIs, a 500 on base percentage, and an 885 OPS. Buddy is getting on base 1 out of every 2 plate appearances. He's almost at 20 plate appearances. He's at 18. He's been on base 9. Dude is a freak. Christian Campbell or Roman Anthony is an absolute freak. Toro or Trace Thompson. Right now, I think I go Abraham Toro is better suited for where the Red Sox need depth. Trace Thompson's been the better performer. Does Trace only plays outfield, right? How do you spell Trace Thompson? Maybe. Yeah, there we go. Does he only play outfield? Yeah, he only plays outfield, which sucks. Abraham Toro can play first. He can play third. He can play all over the place. Yeah, so Abreu was the other name I wanted to talk about tonight. Man, we're 30 minutes in. Look at us flying through my topics, huh? Look at us, guys. So Willier's back playing regular baseball, or baseball activities, I should say, which is mostly just getting himself ready to get into games. Right now, it kind of sounds like the goal is for him to be available and ready to go opening day. I don't know that happens, right? I don't know that he can get onto the opening day roster at this point. He's 3 weeks behind, right? What do they get, the 17th? He didn't get to he's like 14 days behind everyone else. He might end up on the IL to start the season, but then the question becomes who fills in for him, right? Is it Roman Anthony, who right now, if we're just going based on who's performed the best, it's him, right? Then you have Trace Thompson, who's done really well. Nate Eaton, who looks great defensively. I don't know what he's done offensively. He's looked good offensively. 286 batting average, 10 games, so it's not an incredibly small sample size. 1,200 OPS. He has 2 doubles, a triple, and a home run. Right? I sit here with Nate Eaton, and like, if this is a dude you're not afraid to DFA at some point, I'm okay with that. Ref Snyder, yeah, but you're still going to need someone on the bench, Liam. I don't think they go into the year with, maybe they have Ref Snyder start and then like Sogard and Grissom on the bench until Willier comes back, and then you figure it out. Right? That kind of makes sense to me. Feels like it would make sense, right? Roman really does look like he can start the season. Backup catcher, Carlos Narvaez. It appears as though that will be the backup catcher of the Boston Red Sox. He looks great defensively. He looks really, really good defensively. Offensively, yeah, not doing well, but it's, again, you're 5 games in, right? He's only played 5 games. He's only had 13 plate appearances, only 2 hits, but again, it's just so tough. It's absolutely going to be Carlos Narvaez. His defense looks fantastic. The bullpen's another interesting one. Again, you go on. Yeah, I'm pretty high on Narvaez. I'm not like crazy high on Narvaez, but I'm pretty high on Narvaez. You know who doesn't look good? Liam Hendricks. But again, you're 2 innings in, right? How has Juan looked defensively? He's looked fine. No, I didn't see it. I didn't see it in game, Pac-Man, but I saw the highlights. It looks pretty good. Gone up a little bit with Hendricks. The only reason I'm not too concerned with Hendricks is because it's 2 innings, right? If we were at like 5 or 6 appearances and he still got this super inflated ERA, not great. But I mean, you look at the 2 innings and he's given up a home run, which sucks. But he's also only he hasn't given up a walk. He's struck out 3 batters in 2 innings, right? 4 hits. I'm not really worried totally. I don't know that. Has Chapman really looked great? Like he hasn't given up a run, which is great, but he's also walked 4 batters, right? In an inning and 2/3. I don't know that Chapman really looks all that good either. So I don't know. Right now, I think I still give the closing job to Chapman or Hendricks. I think I do. But you sit here and like, how's Slayton look so far? Slayton looks all right. Corey closer by committee. I don't think they're going to do closer by committee. I really don't. Why didn't we go out and get a guy like Jeff Hoffman would have been great. Jeff Hoffman also failed two different physicals before he signed with the Blue Jays. I'm good on that. Fastball speed on Hendricks, it's sitting like 94, 95, which is solid. We need it. Realistically, you need it to be like 96, 97. You know what I mean? Lucas Giolito is a closer? No. Who should I get autos of at spring training? Duran. Duran would be a good one. Duran. Any of the prospects. Casas would be solid. Bueller, Crochet. Any of those pitchers would be good too. Robertson, but the problem with Robertson is he's not a, like, we wouldn't sign, like the Red Sox wouldn't sign. I always get yelled at for saying we. Like they wouldn't sign him to be a closer, would they? He hasn't really been a closer. He had 2 saves last year with the Texas Rangers. He had 18 the year before with the Mets, mostly with the Mets, and then he got traded to Miami. He didn't have any. He had 20. He had 20 the year before that with the Cubs. He had 14, but the last time he was a true closer in Major League Baseball was 2014, 2015. I don't know about that. Yeah, Braden. I don't think it's a crazy thing to say. Is Witt going to throw it all? Yeah, Witt's getting into games, I think, by the end of this week or early next week. He's close. He'll be ready for opening day. I still want... Where's that guy that was saying that there was no chance that Garrett Whitlock would start with the team? You know what I mean? Remember that guy? Luis Guerrero, we talked about him, right? He looks absolutely incredible. My only thing with Guerrero is, again, is he ready? Like, I don't know if this is someone you put into the closer role over Hendricks and Chapman right now. I just don't. I would be interested in it. I just don't know that you do it. He gave up a few runs his last time out for sure. Yeah, it's crazy, Joe. I don't know where they're getting that. Do I think the relievers are going to sell this season? The only people legitimately concerned with our relievers are Red Sox fans. Fangraphs has them as the top bullpen in the AL East. Like they do. So I don't know. Right? I don't know that you could sit there and say that the bullpen's going to be a problem. The only problem with the bullpen is you just don't know who the closer is, right? Let me turn on. I keep getting notifications. Hold on, Chad. The only problem with the bullpen, you just don't know exactly who the closer is, but you also have good options to be the closer, right? It's not as though like 2020, what was that? 22 or 23? I think it was 22 because I think you signed Kenley going into 23. Yeah, because he was here for 2 years. Going into 22, your options for a closer were Matt Barnes, who had half a year experience, Tanner Houck, who was still very new, and Garrett Whitlock, who you wanted to put into the rotation, right? Those are your options. This year, it's like Yeah, we don't know who the closer is. It's the best out of Aroldis Chapman, who, I don't love rooting for, but has had a ton of success in Major League Baseball. Liam Hendricks, who has a great person to root for, has a ton of success in Major League Baseball as a closer. Justin Slayton, who looks fantastic. And like guys like Luis Guerrero, who look good too. So, right? There's such a difference in, like, we could sit here and be like, it's a problem. But the difference between it's a problem this year and it's a problem in 22 is just absolutely ginormous. So we could sit here and we could say, oh, I'm worried about the bullpen, but I think it works itself out. It's just one of those things. 20 gifted members. Mad gifted 20 members. That's crazy. That's absolutely ridiculous. 20. Can we get some claps in the chat for Mad, please? Can we get some claps, please? That is a ridiculous amount. A ridiculous amount. And for some reason, my stream alerts aren't on. We're going to let you enjoy this one. We're going to let you enjoy this one because that's absurd. Look at all these new members. Look at all these new members. If you got one from Mad, make sure to say thank you if you're in the chat. Make sure you say thank you. That is ridiculous. What's the deal with Devers? He's just looking to get his timing right. That's it. That's it. Just an absurd donation to our channel here from Mr. Mad. I'm unbelievably grateful. Thank you so much. Bring back Koji. Yeah. What up, Christopher? What's going on, Wraith? Yeah, Kevin, it's not an injury issue. It's just strictly he wants to get his timing right, which again, you sit here and you're like, oh my God, right? But no. Devers is one of the better hitters in Major League Baseball. If he's got a way to get there, I think that's fine. Right? I think that's fine. Where am I based out of? Massachusetts. Is Vlad coming? Why would... No. Yeah, it absolutely is a sign, Braden. There are 5 or 6 reliable bullpen options for sure. That should count towards the goal. I know. I wish it did. It only did. It only allowed me to do... It only allowed me to do super chats. That was it. Look at this. We're good. We should be sitting here watching all the gifted subs he's got going on here. Turn these into recurring members. Well, I appreciate you, Matt. That was very, very generous of you. Thank you. What are we drinking tonight? This bottle of Propel. Yeah, Sox content. Go for it. Tag me in it when you're done with it, too. What would Costas have to do this year to not want you to pursue him next year? I love Costas. If there's a way to keep both of them, I'm in. I'm gonna say if Costas hits like 35 home runs over 100 RBIs, I don't know that they really worry about Vladdy next year. Although at the same point too, Vladdy's generational. If you can get Vladdy and figure out a way to fit Costas on here too, do it. Yeah, but they're keeping the yellow ones. The yellow ones are staying in rotation. The yellow jerseys are staying in rotation. That's true, Joe. That's true. I don't know. I love Costas. I would love to have both of them on here, but... No, not replace. Just adding on a new one. What's the new ones then? We haven't seen them yet, which is kind of surprising. Don't they usually debut pretty early on? Like, when did the Red Sox yellow jerseys debut? Like, that was before the season, right? Oh, no. It started on the exact home opener. On April 6, 2021, the Red Sox revealed it. Oh, they wore it for the first time on April 17th and 18th. So looks like we got a little bit. If Bregman opts out, they're going to fit both. Yeah, I just don't know that I don't know that he opts out. Probably Steven. Yeah, so dark blue jerseys are going away. Still waiting to be able to purchase a Bregman jersey. Should be soon. No. We know that the Red Sox new City Connect jerseys are going to be green. Yeah, we know that they're going to be green. The green jersey could be sick. Still smart to operate assuming Bregman opts out? Yeah. Yeah, I mean you kind of have to, right? Because you don't want to be like, oh, he's definitely opting in, and then he leaves, and all of a sudden you're without a third baseman or a second baseman or whatever, right? You're without that right-handed bat in the middle of your lineup, just screwed. So you have to act like he's going to opt out. But again, the problem is it sounds like he's going to opt in. Which rookies are having the best spring? Right now, Nate Eaton's up there. He's having a fantastic spring. Fitz looks really good. Priest, I don't know, you could consider a rookie. I'm trying to think of other guys who've kind of been making a name. Hickey low-key. I don't know how he hit an absolute moonshot against the Pirates the other day. I don't know how his overall season's doing. Once again, Nick Sogard. Eden definitely isn't a rookie. He only has a year of major league experience, only a couple of games. How's his spring training going? Nathan Akey not on that. Let me see. Nate Eaton. Nate Eaton only has 72 games in Major League Baseball. I don't know where his rookie status comes from. Yeah, so he exceeded rookie status in 22, but only 72 games. I don't know where you put that. Hickey's kind of a guy that you can't really like center a trade around though. Yeah, I think I'll be getting Crochet in the new uniforms. Not reading one of them. Mike, I'm sorry, I haven't seen any of them. Is there a way to look at like past messages? Oh yeah, channel activity. Look at that. The only ones you've sent right now are Nick Sogard is stretching out at first base. How about David Hamilton? That's all I got. Is Trey Thompson making the opening day roster? The only way I see it is if Wilyer Abreu starts in the IL, but not very long. Right? That's in my opinion the only way, I think. But like the name Crochet on the uniform personally? Yep. Any news on Cease trade? Yeah, it doesn't look like it's gonna happen. Via email? Alright, I'll take a look when it comes up, G. Yeah, Thompson will be a fun guy. I want to interview him this year. I'm gonna try to get to a lot. I'm trying to get to more games this year. We'll see. Because I'd love to interview a couple of these guys before they end up, either DFAs or whatever. But I'd love to get Trace Thompson on here. I think that'd be interesting. Can you see that clip on stream? Yeah, if I could find, if it's translated, if it's just translated, I'll put it up on screen. If it's a full clip, I'll put it up on stream too. Let me see if I got an email. Oh, right, I'm on Do Not Disturb. Yeah, Mike, that would be a pretty good reason. I think Story will be healthy this season. Do I think he'll be healthy this season? I think he plays more than 100 games. You're coming to Boston for June 14th game against the Yankees? Let's go, Taylor. Yeah, Austin Adams is kind of fun to watch on the mound. Austin Adams needs to be at the top of that list. Is someone I want to interview? Okay. I'll keep an eye out for Austin Adams too. Let me pull this up. Ugh, dude, I need a new computer. This is ridiculous. Try again. No, I don't want YouTube Studio. There we go. It's literally like look at this. Actually, I can't show you my email. Oh, I got it. Okay. All right, so let me so this is Can you hear me? Is any money out there? Anyone at all? I'm back? Okay. All right, well, never mind. I was going to show you the difference between the translated conversation between Devers and Poppy, but we'll talk about that another time. Where was I? What was I talking about before Devers? I gotta get rid of that donate to Movember thing. Hey, shout out Mad for that one, Jeremy. Also, don't buy any merch until opening day. If you're planning on getting Red Sox merch, or Red Seat merch, I should say, not Red Sox merch. Red Seat merch. Don't buy any until opening day. That's just a little tidbit from me. Yeah, JB. Hey, thank Mr. Mad. What's happening? I'm in Cancun. Oh, must be nice. Man, I'm in this terrible place called Cancun. This little island called Cancun. I can't get your message right now. Yeah, it was on my end. It was on my end. I tried to open up. I tried to show you guys the conversation between Devers and Poppy, but oh well. I know, G. I appreciate it. At least I know. Right? At least I know what happened. Well, maybe we'll talk about it in a video. I'll make sure I shout you out, G. Kind of interesting. We haven't heard anything about extensions. I was thinking that today. Right? I was thinking about that today. Like, is there going to be more conversations about extensions or no? There has to be, right? There has to be. I mean, Crochet, right, went on Section 10. He talked about it a bit. It sounded like he was interested, but we haven't heard anything. Any of these other guys. Roman Anthony says he kind of doesn't want one. He's focused on just making the big league club. Fair. I don't know. If I'm Roman Anthony, I don't know that. Like, I was talking about that. We talked about that the other day in chat, right? On a live stream where I was talking about, like, whether or not if I was 20 years old, if someone put $200 million on me for 14 years, I'd be like, yeah, I'll take 200. Right? But like, the difference between being a 200 millionaire and a 400 millionaire is huge, but it's also like you could do pretty much everything else. You could do pretty much everything the same. Bueller's interested. Bueller is interested in the way of, if I do really well this season, I would be interested in re-signing with the Red Sox. He's not signing one in March. He's not going to. Mostly because they already tried to get him on a multi-year deal. Right? They already tried to get him on a multi-year deal, and he said no, and that's why he signed to a one-year deal. Happiness peaks at $389 million for what it's worth. Is that like a calculated statistic here? Is that a real thing? My head's itchy today, chat. Is that a real thing? I didn't know that. Casas is interested, sort of. I wonder if the Sox... I mean, it's interesting that Craig Breslow approached Casas for an extension last offseason. And this offseason, he's sitting there. They're sitting there and they're trying to trade him. Like, clearly their view of Tristan Casas for the future of the Red Sox has shifted a bit. I don't know that they go in... What do you think? What's up, Dennis? Hey, I appreciate you being here, man. Thank you for making the time. Yeah, I met a guy with $390 million. Buddy was just miserable. This dude was miserable. If they don't extend Crochet soon, that's a big fumble. Big, maybe. Impossible to extend past this year? I don't think so, right? If they doesn't do it this year, they still have it the next year. The Red Sox have their eyes set on Vladdy Jr. Maybe. Yeah, but how does that strong arm Devers into a position swap? Like the dumbest thing the Red Sox could do right now, in my opinion, is put Devers somewhere where he's not going to be the next 9 years of his career. Right? If the Red Sox move Devers to DH for the next 3 seasons with Bregman at third and whoever at first base, you can't put him back out there at third base. He hasn't played the field in 3 years. So if you're moving him to DH permanently, that's his home. Same goes for first base, right? I don't know that you can really do, hey, Devers, you're going to learn this whole new position. And then we're gonna let you learn that position. Then we're gonna throw you back at third base, where, by the way, you've been struggling this entire time too. I don't see him signing Crochet if he gets to free agency. Too much of a bidding war. I have a little bit more faith in the Red Sox and bidding wars. I don't know. The Bregman thing changed my mind a little bit. They went well above and beyond to get that done. I have a bit more faith to get it. And Bregman's not a 27-year-old pitching phenom, right? I think they'll be interested in trying to get Crochet back here for sure if he gets to free agency. But the best thing you can do is not let him get to free agency. Like the trade itself looks, even if Garrett Crochet wins a Cy Young this year and then next year, this is actually, I'm talking myself totally out of this. But let's say the Red Sox are playoff contenders for the next 2 years. Garrett Crochet wins the Cy Young, and then he signs with the Tigers or whoever, right, in free agency. I don't know that the trade was really a huge win, especially if Braden Montgomery becomes a stud, which I think he can and I think he will, and Kyle Teal's an everyday baseball player. I don't know that this trade is a full win for the Red Sox. Now, if Crochet's here for 5 years, 6 years, then I'm sitting there and I'm saying, there we go. There we go. Devers' shoulder could be an issue at least at the beginning of the season. Guys, Devers' shoulder is not the issue. Devers' timing and the fact that he's behind in camp is the issue. It's not that his shoulder's still hurt. It's that he wants to get his timing right, which again is totally fair. Like, that shouldn't be something we're sitting here critiquing. If you're one of the better hitters in Major League Baseball, you know exactly where you need to be that good, especially now that you have the experience that Rafael Devers has. Right? Crochet will have to be long-term. Yeah, but the thing is, it's $40 million a year for 3 years, 3 years, right? You could do 32 million a year for 6 years, and I don't think they'd have a problem doing that. Now, if Crochet's getting 10-year deals, then maybe, but Crochet's not going to be getting 10-year deals. Pitchers aren't getting these crazy long-term deals anymore. The only one who did was Max Fried, and it was because the Yankees were so miserably upset with the fact that they lost Soto that they refused to lose Max Fried too. Right? Most of these top-end pitchers, I mean, just look at what these guys got this offseason. Burns went for what? 6 years. Snell went for 5 years. Burns, Snell. Fried went for 8. Who am I missing? I have to be missing someone important, right? Those are the 3 though? Those are the 3. And they all got sub 10 years. So I think anything sub 10, I think the Red Sox have a legitimate shot at. Anything over 10, yeah, maybe, right? Maybe. But then again, you did try to give what, $700 million for Soto. So I don't know. I mean, I get it, right? You're taking one good signing from the Sox and trying to erase, or at least I am trying to erase 3 years of not bad signings, but signings that did not happen because you wouldn't go above and beyond. Bregman's played second base. At least one spring training game, and he's been playing second base, some second base on the backfields as well. Yeah, a lot of third base so far for Bregman, but it's also, I think, Alex Cora knowing that Bregman can play second base and wanting to see these younger guys get some time at second base, right? It's the first week of spring training here. By the end of spring training, if Bregman's still only playing third base, then we're going to start having a conversation of, okay, this dude's just flat out not playing second base. Right? If we're at the end of March and they're 15 games into spring training, that's when you start to see, okay, this is what Alex Cora is looking for in his roster, right? That's when we're going to start to see lineups that look something like Duran, Rafaela, whoever in right field, blank at third base, Story, blank at second base, Casas and Wong, right? With Massa, Devers, whoever at DH. That's when we're going to start to really see the pieces get put together. For now, it's just sort of, we're going to let people play where they normally play, and then we're going to sort of cut and shape and mold out of what we see from these guys so far. Does that make sense? It's a tough time in spring training right now because at the beginning of spring training, it's all hype, right? It's all hype. Everything's positive. This first week or two, I would say first 2 weeks of spring training is sort of a no man's land because at the end of spring training, you get to talk about, okay, now we're at a, 15, 20 game sample size with Christian Campbell and he hasn't hit anything. What does that mean? Now we're at a 20 game sample size with Roman Anthony. He still has a 500 on base percentage. What does that mean, right? Oh, we're starting to see. But right now, everything is just sort of, it's great, but it's just way too early on. No one's been sent to minor league camp yet. I've been keeping an eye on it, waiting for a video, but I haven't seen anything on any sort of roster decisions. I think the first wave will probably be some bullpen arms, some minor league guys that were signed to minor league deals that just don't have a shot at making the team this year. Like Brian Van Bell will probably get sent down pretty quickly. Bregman is still like 30 games at second base. Yeah, he also came up as a second baseman, though. He played a lot of games at second base in college. Played a lot of games at second base in minor league baseball. I don't think they're really worried about his ability to play second base. Seems like they're pretty comfortable with where they're at second base with Bregman, if we're being honest. So that's my point, right? We're just gonna let guys play where they either they want to play or they naturally play, and then once we start really sort of honing down, we're gonna cut out, probably send Marcelo, Christian Campbell, those guys down to minor league camp at some point, and now we're gonna slice and dice the roster a little bit, and that's when we're gonna see, okay, are we getting Bregman at second? Are we getting Bregman at third? Hell, is Bregman playing left field, right? You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think we've got a little bit to go until we start panicking about the idea of Bregman, not panicking, but having the conversation of Bregman only playing third base so far. And again, I do think he does have a game at second base. I wonder if does the Fangraphs show this. Let me see, because Fangraphs gives us game logs from spring training. I'm slowly starting to convert to a Fangraphs only person. My only problem with Fangraphs is it crashes my computer. That's it. Like outside of that, Fangraphs is the best. Bregman's hitting 385. I mean, it's only 5 games, but no, it's only showing me. Has Anthony been the last couple of days? Yeah. He's just been coming in relief, basically. Do I just ignore catcher till deep rounds? So I'm in a fantasy baseball league with a bunch of Red Sox podcasters. I took a catcher like 7th round, I think. Cal Rayleigh slipped through the 7th round. I don't think he's going to slip through the 7th round in a lot of people. But Cal Rayleigh slipped low for me. I think you get a solid catcher. I think you get a solid catcher in later rounds in spring in fantasy baseball drafts. Like you could go for a guy like William Contreras. You go for a guy like Real Muto. You go for a guy like even a guy like Wong, right? He's probably going to put up solid fantasy numbers. I actually hope Devers plays third base. That is going to be better for the team. We'll see. Right now, I think the best lineup, if Moss is this healthy, the way he's looking, I think the best lineup, maybe not defensive alignment, but lineup is Devers at third, Bregman at second, Story at short, Casas at first, Massa DHing, and then Duran, Rafaela, or even X in left field, Duran in right, and Rafaela in center. I just don't know. Or maybe even Duran in center, Rafaela in right, and then X at left field. It depends on whether or not Willier's going to be healthy. Over-under gameplay for Story. Ideally, right, 120 would be the under-over in my opinion. Yeah, but JK, you don't get to Major League Baseball as a catcher just because you hit really well, right? Rafael Devers is a prime example of this. Rafael Devers is a premier player in Major League Baseball. His defense is terrible, but he hits really, really well, and so he's a premier player. If you're a poor defensive catcher, you're not sticking in Major League Baseball. You have to be a good defensive catcher, and then the offensive statistics are just sort of secondary to a lot of teams, right? I would say 30 out of 30 teams would take the dude who is a really good defensive catcher and a below average offensive catcher than the offensive catcher who's a poor defensive catcher. Why doesn't you know what I mean? Have a good one, Lionel. Thanks for staying in here for a little bit. David Robertson. Yeah, there's still a chance they sign him. Yeah, but you got to think, JK. In years past, there haven't really been those guys either. Like the guys that stand out in the catching position stand out because they're unique. Right? Buster Posey is one of the greater catchers of all time because he's uniquely good at both defense and offense. It's tough to see both. And I think it's just because there's been such a emphasis on it. Is Narvaez? Yeah, it really looks like Narvaez is the guy backup wise. I don't think Sable really isn't done enough, in my opinion, to warrant a conversation of, is Sable going to be the backup catcher of the Red Sox? What? Is it not Nick Sable? Am I an idiot? Yeah, I am. It's Blake. No one wanted to correct me on that, Chad, huh? Yeah, he's hitting all right. Again, it's 5 games, so it's tough to say. The defense looks solid with Sable a little bit, though. I don't know. I don't know. I think Narvaez has to do a really bad thing. You know what I mean? For him not to, and by really bad, I mean statistically. I don't mean off the field. Although off the field too would probably work. For him not to be the second base. Sometimes I can be an idiot. Yeah, I know. Someone tweeted at me today. I made a video back in 2023 saying that Jaren Duran was going to break out. And I went back at some of my videos. I was like, God, I have a hit rate of like predicting Red Sox stuff at like 10%, I think. I mean, in all fairness, I put a video out a day, right? So just based on that, I'm going to get stuff wrong, right? If I was talking about it once a week, maybe I'd have a higher hit rate, but every single day, I think. You think Trevor Story's going to play less than 60 games? 60 games? If Trevor Story plays less than 60 games, the Red Sox are in trouble. I don't know, man. I have a funny feeling about Story this year. That's crazy. 60 games is crazy low. David Hamilton just become the de facto shortstop. I don't want David Hamilton anywhere near shortstop. He's an elite second base defender. Keep him there. Yeah, dude. If Story plays less than 60 games, DFA him and just bring up Meyer. That's your only solution, right? If Story for 3 years in a row plays less than 60 games, there's not a single chance in hell he's worth the rest of the money. Even if you're paying another team to pick him up, I don't care, right? Just get Marcelo in here. Because at the bare minimum, imagine you're paying Marcelo Meyer like $25 a year. That's the only way to look at it, I think. If that's what ends up happening, that's the way you have to look at it. And you just have to pray Marcelo stays healthy too. There's I don't know, man. Like it's tough to sit here and be like, well, Story's super injury prone. Like the dude dove for a baseball last year and cracked a shoulder. It's not like he was in a batting cage, you know what I mean? Like he was putting his body on the line for the Sox. His season, 26 game sample size. What would his WAR have been if he was on track last year? Let's say 150 games. Story would have been a 4 WAR player last year had he stayed healthy. God. That probably would have been the playoffs, if we're being honest. Like, it really would have. He only had 2 home runs, though. The slug was way down. But, like, yeah, base percentage was really good. It'd be so good. What would his WAR been at 100 games? 269. Nice. 269. Bregman will play shortstop. That'd be crazy. Yeah, it was mostly the glove. I'm looking at defensive WAR was 0.4, offensive WAR was 0.5. I really don't know how that gets calculated. I don't get it. Whatever. To plan he's out, then scramble if it happens. Yeah, it is. It is. It is. But again, this year you've got options. There's nothing crazy, right? But you've got a bridge. So say Story does play 50 games, right? Well, Marcelo Myers already got 40 games under his belt in AAA. That's good news. You could probably bring him up. But even if you can't and you want to keep him down there for a little bit longer, you can have Sogard bridge that gap. You could have Romy Gonzalez bridge that gap. I guess you could have David Hamilton, although again, defensively him at shortstop versus defensively him at second base. Big difference. You could, I guess, have Bregman do it. He certainly, I think, would be capable of handling it. So you do kind of already have options, right? You do kind of already at least have the ability to go, okay, if Story ends up out for a majority of the season again this year, all we're doing is trying to bridge the gap to Meyer. That's it. I think that's the plan, right? You do have guys there. You do have guys there that I think could bridge that gap pretty easily. It wouldn't be stellar, right? You'd have to make up the offense somehow, and that then you'd probably have to have Bregman at third base just to shore up that infield. But it's doable, and I think that's different than last year, right? As much as Mike loves David Hamilton, having him come up that week in Anaheim and just immediately looking terrible at shortstop again. Redemption arc, he looked great at second base, and I understand that, but shortstop, he looked terrible. And just being like, okay, now what do we do, right? Meyer's still a year away. Sogard wasn't ready. Romy was fine, but really wasn't doing much defensively either. You didn't have any options. This year, you've got legitimate options, and you've got a legitimate prospect that can handle it. So I'm not all that worried about Story getting hurt this year as I was in years past. Now, I will say, like I've been saying for a long time, Story's sort of this underrated, important part of the Red Sox lineup, right? If Story comes in here and let's say he has a year like he had, last year in that 26 game sample size where he had a 104 OPS plus, but he had 2 home runs in 26 games. Say he plays 150 games. That's only 11 home runs. Need more power out of your Story, but you know what I mean? Like if he's in that 104 production range, but he's hitting, let's go back to 2022, where he played 94 games and had 16 home runs. Right? He was on pace for what, 25? I don't know. Like if you put that into the 5 spot in this order, you're in a really good place, dude. If your 1 through 5 is Jarren Duran, all-star caliber Jarren Duran, a ton of Alex Bregman, Rafael Devers, perennial top 25 hitter in baseball, Tristan Casas, one of the most exciting bats in baseball, and then Story, who's league average but gives you a ton of pop, in. And that's just your 1 through 5, dude. 6, you get a stud prospect potentially, or Massa, right? Healthy Massa, I'm in on that. 7 would be whoever's playing the outfield, Willier, and then it'd be Wong, and then say Don, I'm in. Red Sox need more catching options. No, I actually don't think so. I think Narvaez will be a really good defensive catcher, and I think Wong puts out legit big league offensive numbers. I think combined they're a solid catcher. The Red Sox just don't have an all-star caliber catcher, which is fine, right? Not every position needs to be this MVP caliber all-star. You can have just a sort of platoon guy there and it still work out really well. And hopefully that's what the Red Sox have right now. Hopefully that's what they have. Either Sogard or Romy, yeah. Yeah, and that's a good point, JK. I mean, you look around, right? The AL East just in general. You got Adley. Austin Wells is fine, right? He won Rookie of the Year by a slim margin. I don't even know who the catcher is for. Oh, it's Danny Jansen is the catcher for the Rays, right? There's not a ton of like holy crap catchers in Major League Baseball. Even Adley Rutschman was good defensively, but he fell off. He fell off hard offensively. So even I don't know, you consider him a superstar right now. Yeah, I think there's what? There's is it William or Wilson Contreras who's the good defensive catcher in Milwaukee? I think it's William, right? William Contreras is probably a superstar. Is probably a really good, like a echelon tier catcher. Cal Rayleigh, I think, is the top right now. I guess you put Adley in that echelon just because the potential is there. But this is what I'm saying, right? I have to rack my brain. Will Smith, I have to rack my brain to come up with 5. Salvador Perez, yeah, he hits well. He's terrible defensively, though. He's terrible defensively now. He moved to a DH role. So I don't know. I'm not totally panicking about the Red Sox in terms of their catching depth right now. What I am kind of panicking about, and what I'll give you, Eric, is that if Connor Wong or Narvaez gets hurt, they get thin real quick, right? Sean Murphy, I don't know that he's in there. Will Smith hits well. He's a bit of a slap hitter. Doesn't Will Smith consistently hit like 20 home runs a year? Yeah, dude, I don't know where you're getting slap hitter. Last 4 seasons, 25 home runs, 24 home runs, 19 home runs, 20 home runs. Not really a slap hitter, I don't think. Yeah, I could see the Red Sox drafting a first round catcher. Oh, that went totally over my head, Jack. That went totally over my head. Are we going to regret that Kyle Teal trade? That depends on how Garrett Crochet does. Or if Crochet's healthy and gives you what he should be able to give you on the field, no, I don't think anyone will miss Kyle Teal. If the Red Sox lock this dude up for 5 years, I don't think anyone's missing Kyle Teal now. Do I think we need a catcher or a pitcher? Honestly, catcher. Again, you go back to the video I did reacting to the Red Sox new top 30 prospects. Of the 30, 13 of them were pitchers. That's a really good spot for the Red Sox to be in. You know what they're doing that I think a lot of people aren't paying attention to because they aren't drafted is they're going after a lot of pitchers on the international free agent pool signing period. They're going after a lot of these guys, and a lot of these guys look really good, really young. It's going to take a little bit for this pipeline to connect, but Delvinson Reyes, Jedickson Paez, the Deliz guy they signed this year. Yordani is in there. Inglacia, right? These are all names that they've signed over the last couple of years from the international player pool that people don't talk about because they're drafted another shortstop, right? So I think it'll be catcher because again, you go back to who are the top 30 prospects in the catching in the Red Sox farm system? One of them is a catcher. Should we package some prospects for some back end pitching? Not yet. I don't think not yet. I think if you get towards the end of spring training and guys still don't look like they should look, maybe kid. But right now, I'm not too concerned with it. I think O'Neal Cruz has the potential to be. Yeah, I do think O'Neal Cruz has the potential to be. The problem with O'Neal Cruz is that he was hyped up way too much, I think. He was solid last year, though. He just didn't play. He played a decent amount of games. Yeah, I think he could be an all-star. He just needs to get a little bit better defensively, honestly. He's just not good defensively. Do I think Peyton Tolley could be any good? Yeah. If we think we could pull off a trade for Vlad, I seem is oi no be dangerous. I sorry, Dennis, I can't translate that one. I apologize. It seems like our strategy of drafting athletes doesn't lend itself to getting a good catching prospect. They had Kyle Teal, right, who was one of the top catching prospects in baseball. They have Johan Fran Garcia, who people just forgot about because he got hurt, which is fair. But the dude was hitting. Let me find him. Johan Fran, before he got injured last year, was hitting 385 with a 569 with a 596 slug. That's a pretty impressive catching prospect if you ask me. His defense has been really good. High seam will be. Dennis, I still don't understand what high seam means. Was he drafted? No, he was signed as an international prospect. Who's that? What's that other guy's name? Brooks Bannon. That's a draft pick. When was he drafted? 9th round of the 2022 draft. He looked really good last year. He was popping off. He was popping off in the Winter League as well. The Mesa Solar Sox. X to doubt, guys. Are we? Am I having a stroke? What do I think the weakest part of our roster is? I think the weakest part of the roster is catching right now. And will it cost us deeply? No, I don't think it'll cost us deeply. I think it could still be a successful team. But I think catching position is the one. That's the answer, I think. I don't think there's a better answer than that. Yeah, like looking at the potential roster, man. Like you just go through it. Left field, Jaron Duran, not an issue. Third base, Rafael Devers, not an issue. Second base, Alex Bregman, not an issue. First base, Tristan Casas, not an issue. Massa, in my opinion, not an issue if he's healthy. Trevor Story, right? But if he's healthy, you know he's going to be a good glove at the bare minimum. I don't really think that's too much of an issue. Willier, and even if it's not Willier, you know what I mean? You've got options there. Not really an issue with the outfield. Cedon, not an issue. You know he's going to give you a good glove. The strikeout rate will be interesting, but we'll see with that. Connor Wong, that's the one that stands out, right? Terrible defensively, and if you have a terrible defensive catcher, it stands out. The bench, you've got 1,000 options on the bench. The rotation, solid. The bullpen, you know what I mean? Like there's interesting options as to who the closer is going to be, but your options for closer are still really good. So I'm not crazy worried about that. I mean, the IL, right? The IL, interesting. Even in terms of depth, the again, you talk about, okay, where's the depth coming from? You've got options. Grissom's a depth option. Sogard's a depth option. Marcelo, Roman, Trace. There's so many, dude. There's so many. The Red Sox are loaded with depth. There we go, Dennis. If we make a trade for Vladdy, I'll love this. I don't know. How do you not love this roster already? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, Vladdy makes it better, but there's a lot to love about this. I just went through the starting lineup and the rotation, the bullpen. Like, there's so many good options for the Red Sox right here, right now. Hey, Chad, I've been throwing around this idea because opening day, Red Sox opening day starts at 4, right? Is that when it starts? Starts at 4:05. I've been thinking about like what if we did like a long stream? Like I started at like noon or something. Obviously, a part of that would be members only. But what if I did like a leading up to it stream? I don't know. I've been mulling around with the idea. I've been mulling around with it. When does MLB The Show 25 come out? Sorry, release date. March 18th. I don't know, chat. I'm messing around with a lot of different ideas. Sorry. Depends on how busy the news is at the time. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just sort of thinking to myself. I'm thinking out loud right now. You guys are sort of my idea board. You guys are sort of my idea board a little bit. But I was thinking about doing a bit of a longer like maybe we do our members only from like 1 to 3, and then we do our regular live stream 3 to the end of the game. Maybe we'll do that. I don't know. It's still a ways away. A lot can happen. Kind of a slow news day, huh, chat? Kind of slow news day. You guys don't have a ton of questions. There's not really a ton of new things that I was going to go over. Video tomorrow is going to be on Trace Thompson and Nate Eaton, I think. I think those are the two guys, because those are the two guys I want to highlight. Because they've been doing really well. I think that'd be fun. I think closer's not strong enough. Sure, we have a few candidates and no one with recent closing experience. Not strong enough, maybe. Right? Maybe Ricky. But the problem with that is going to... The problem with you saying it is not strong enough is we don't know. And I think you could sit there and look at it two ways, right? You can look at it and say, if Liam Hendricks doesn't work out, you have Aroldis Chapman. If Aroldis Chapman doesn't work out, you've got Justin Slayton. If Justin Slayton doesn't work out, you've got Garrett Whitlock. If Garrett Whitlock doesn't work out, you've got Luis Guerrero, right? So you could sort of go down these line of, okay, if he doesn't work out, then this guy will work out until someone clicks. Right? And so you can sit there and say, but they haven't really had any recent closing experience. Well, the only way to get recent closing experience is to close games, right? It's the only way to do it. And it's tough for me to sit here and say that these guys are going to be bad because they haven't closed recently when they have such a lengthy experience of closing those games. Do I think Chris Grissom will bring enough to justify the Sale trade? Yeah. I've always had an interesting sort of outlook on the Sale trade. I don't think Sale would have done what he did in Atlanta this year or last year, and he certainly wouldn't have been on the Red Sox this year. So, all Grissom really has to be is an everyday player or at least a impact player in some way, and I think it's justified. Big year for Casas. It is a big year for Casas. A very big year for Casas for a couple of reasons, right? One, if the Red Sox do want to hold on to him long term, he's got to prove that he could stay healthy enough to do that. Two, if the Red Sox don't want to do that, and he's looking to, and he knows this, he's looking to be an everyday player somewhere else. And three, if they want an extension, right, the only way Tristan Casas ends up with a legit extension is if he's healthy this season. So, yeah, it's a big year for Casas for sure. It's a big year for Casas for sure. I honestly, Nash, I know I've said that last name wrong. I'm sorry. I don't know that he's going to be ready. I'm leaning towards no. I don't think he's going to be ready. He's really got to get, down and with it ASAP. Think we should trade a lot of good backups for all-star reliever or catcher. That's not really how it works, right? You can't sit there and say, well, these guys aren't going to make the roster, so I'm just going to pool them all together and go trade for an all-star catcher. It's just, you're going to have to give up more than just your backups, right? You're going to have to give up legitimate impact pieces. And right now, I don't think you need either of those guys. In my opinion, if I'm the Red Sox, I'm holding off on trades until either a big injury happens or you get to the trade deadline and you really need something. That's when I would start to talk about trades a little bit more. What's going on with Willier? He had a GI issue. The neurovirus, I think, got to him a little bit. It stuck with him for a while, so he's been sick most of camp. He just started doing baseball activities, not even like full baseball games, but just baseball activities this week. So he's a bit behind everybody else right now, which is why I'm kind of sitting here and like, again, Joe brought up a good point. He kind of has to be in games this weekend for me to be like, I think he's got a legit shot at the opening day roster. Because if he's not, right, you want to make sure that these guys, we've seen throughout the league, guys who don't get full spring trainings, what kind of starts they get off to. Willier's such a critical part of the team if he's going to be on it. I would put him on the IL just to make sure that he's going to be okay for the rest of the season. Especially if this is if this is a guy that you're going to sit there, you're going to say, is this a piece that we move at the deadline, especially with Roman Anthony in the wings? You don't want the first half to not look good. Right? Because if the first half doesn't look good, then you're not going to be able to trade him for what you want to trade him for. So it's really kind of a critical year for Willier. What up, V? I'm going to call you V. Because if I say your name on stream, I may get in trouble. Although I'm pretty sure I can say, that's a lie. So yeah, Willier's kind of a big question mark, which is why guys like Trace Thompson, Nate Eaton are really sort of at the forefront here in terms of whether or not those are guys that can impact the big league roster at some point this year. Or to start the year, I should say. Or whether or not Roman Anthony gets a legitimate shot. I don't know. We'll see. A lot, really, like right now, this time of spring training, everything's just sort of up in the air, right? All these balls. The outfield, I think you need less talent in than if you like the problem, JK, is where are you going to put these guys, right? Are you going to replace Rafaela? Are you going to replace Abreu? Are you going to replace Duran? Are you going to replace Roman Anthony with a 34-year-old Mike Trout? He's got to be in that age range, right? Yeah, it would be 34 years old. I don't think I wouldn't. I don't know. Should we make room for some prospects like the big three? They will. Eventually, they're going to have to, right? You're going to have to make room for them somewhere. And they will. Will I be doing live games in the season? Yeah. So we'll keep the same schedule every Wednesday. And we'll stream every Wednesday game. I was going to move it to Thursdays, but it's like every Thursday for like the first 2 months of the season, they don't have a game. So, every Wednesday we'll be live streaming a game. I've talked to some other creators about potentially doing a live stream with them in there during a game. I think that'd be kind of fun. So we'll see if we can get that done this year. I talked about it last year a little bit, never really came to fruition, but this year I'm hoping we get to see a little bit of something. We'll see though. I don't want to make any promises. It's kind of wild that Mike Trout's from New Jersey, isn't it? Why hasn't the idea of Meyer playing second to start the year been floated? Mostly because he's never played second base in his life, right? So even if they wanted to play Marcelo Meyer at second base, he'd need time over at second base. So even if they wanted to put him there for opening day, he wouldn't be ready. That's kind of why. Happy almost baseball season, yeah. Happy almost baseball season to you as well, Ethan. Live stream a 9-9 challenge. No. I will not be doing the 9-9. I will do the 9-9 challenge if we hit. I'll put that up there. I'll make it a goal on these live streams. If we hit 50 super chats before opening day, I'll do the 9-9 challenge on stream. or Story at shortstop. Take over Rafi would be ridiculous in my opinion. I think it's shortstop. Yeah, I'm excited, Ethan. It'll be a good time. We have 2 third basemen. Yeah, but one of them is on a very short-term deal. One of them's on a very short-term deal. The other one's here for a long time, but everyone kind of assumes he's going to be a DH at some point, right? You're eventually going to need a third baseman, and Story he could technically opt out after this year, but there's probably a pretty good chance Story gets moved into more of a limited role as he continues his contract here with the Sox. So you're going to have an opening there pretty quickly, I think. What would I do for a pennant? A lot. Should we trade? No. The Red Sox don't need to trade for a pitcher. I mean, if they really want to bolster their rotation, they can, but I think Quinn Priester and Richard Fitz are plenty depth enough. And on top of that, Cutter was your 6th starter, right? So you still have a full rotation without him. Jose Ramirez at second. Yeah, the reason people are talking about Vladdy is because Vladdy's available. Jose will never be available. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, Jose will never be available. Chances Hamilton starts a position this year. In my opinion, it all depends on whether they start Masa on the IL. Because right now, if Masataka Yoshida's on the IL, I think you do David Hamilton to start second base. If Masa's not on the IL, I don't think he's got a starting role. Because you have to have Bregman in this lineup. You have to have Rafi in this lineup. And if both those guys play third base, but only one of them can play another position, and it's Bregman, guess who's playing the other position, right? Hamilton's our starting second. Again, if the season started tomorrow and Masa was on the IL, yes. Can't they just send Masa to AAA? He doesn't have any options. The depth of this year's team is crazy. Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. I don't think Masa has options. Maybe Masa does have options. I don't think so. Oh, he does. He does have options. They could hypothetically send him down to AAA. I didn't think he had options. Yeah, that's the other thing too, right? It's not like Masa isn't an unproductive player. That's the big reason, I think. There's no reason to send Masa to AAA besides Mike wanting David Hamilton to start. Right? Outside of that, what's your opinion on trade for Xander? It doesn't make sense now that you have Bregman on the team. And also, the only way I would do that is if the Padres picked up like 90% of that contract, or at least 50%, right? Look at Masa. King. Masa's way more. Yeah, bingo. Bingo. And that's why he won't be starting the year in, say it with me, AAA. Nick Sogard should make the opening day roster. I made a video last year, like literally right around this time, about Nick Sogard like surprising everybody. He's doing it again. He's doing it again. Also, what is up, Andrew? To the show we go. Baseball podcast. Although they dropped we go. It's just to the show baseball podcast. Guy's playing first base now, too. He's a jack of all trades. I don't see how you don't put Sogard on the bench. The only thing I would think of is maybe they want Grissom and Hamilton time on the bench. But I would want Grissom playing every day. If Abreu isn't healthy, Roman has a spot. What's up, Wes? Sogard over Romy. You know what? I think I'm on board. I think I'm on board with Sogard over Romy. Also, Romy hasn't played a spring training game yet, has he? Oh, yeah, he has. I hope they don't lay more bunts down. I think that'd be stupid. The only one who should be laying bunts down are like Romy Gonzalez, Nick Sogard, and David Hamilton. Outside of that, I don't want anyone. When are cuts? Anytime. But the Yankees already made some cuts. It could be anytime. We talk rotation yet? Kind of. Yeah, you don't want Duran bunting. That'd be crazy. Did Yankees cut Jason Dominguez yet? Not yet. Sogard's a perfect MLB bench guy. Switch hit, plays every position, is good defensively. Yeah. Yeah. It's the correct answer. And you know what, Dill? I think I'm there with you. I think right now I'd rather have Nick Sogard than Romy Gonzalez. I wonder if Romy Gonzalez is kind of fighting for a spot on this team, which sucks because he was a really solid bench bat for the Red Sox. But you go and check out Nick Sogard, what he did last year, what he's doing this year in spring training. I'm just gonna go. Baseball Reference works better than Fangraphs on the iPad. I mean, dude is a 294 with a 529 slug in spring training in 20 plate appearances. Not like a super small. Prayers up for Cutter. He's king, by the way. Yeah, that sucks. Baseball Reference, perfectly mid. I like Baseball Reference. I'll stand by Baseball Reference. I know everyone thinks Fangraphs the way to go, and it's much more detailed. I'll give it that, but I like Baseball Reference. How he could have gave Mookie Devers money? Definitely couldn't have. Definitely couldn't have. What's up, Harrison? How you doing? Can I get Boston? I'm not gonna say no. What can I tell you about Trace Thompson? Well, watch the video. We're going to get into Trace Thompson in tomorrow's video. Although, I don't know whether to call him a prospect or not. Where'd he even come from? He's picked up on a minor league deal. A couple of days before spring training, actually. It was pretty quickly. It might have even been during spring training. I don't really remember. He's not a prospect? Yeah. No. I'm not going to call him a prospect. Wink needs to start in AAA. Dude, I'm going to say it. I think it might be time to cut ties with Wink. Like, I've been thinking about it. I don't think I would rather have Zach Kelly over Winkowski. I would rather have Ottavino over Winkowski. I would rather have Weissert over Winkowski. I would rather have Criswell over Winkowski. I would rather have Bernardino. I think I take over Winkowski. Let me look at that. Let me look at the Red Sox. Red Sox spring roster. All right, let's look at the non-roster invitees. I think that's the bigger one. All right, pitchers. Ottavino, I think I'd rather have over him. Wyatt Mills, I think. I'd rather have Wyatt Mills over Winkowski, maybe. Michael Fulmer, I think I'd rather have over Winkowski. Let's take a look at the 40-man. Justin Wilson, I think I'd rather have over Winkowski. Luis Guerrero, I'm taking over Winkowski. Hunter Dobbins, I'm taking over Winkowski. Like, dude, I don't know. Who's that dude from the A's? Sean Newcomb looks fairly good this spring, I think. I'd still rather him over Winkowski. We might be all the way out on Wink. It's kind of sounded like I'm all the way out on Wink. He does. He does have the capability to be good, I think, but I don't know, dude. I just think the Red Sox have enough depth where he's not totally like last year. He was necessary because he could start if you needed him to. He could fill a lot of different roles in the bullpen. But this year, you got a guy named Garrett Whitlock who can do the same thing, or Hunter Dobbins, or Quinn Priester, or Richard Fitz, or Cooper Criswell, and all those guys I think have a higher ceiling right now than Winkowski. You know what I mean? And I do think Winkowski has the capability of being good. I just think the Red Sox are in a good enough spot where they don't need to have guys who have the capability of being good. They can pick the guys that are good. And even if you lose them to a DFA or whatever, again, I think there are enough guys on this depth chart here that you could get away with losing a guy like Winkowski. So if I'm the Red Sox, I don't know, man. I have a real conversation about potentially moving off of him or moving away from him, maybe. I don't know. How is he doing this spring? He's struggling this spring, isn't he? Andrew, are you still in here? Oh, yeah. There he is. I don't think Hunter Dobbins likes me, so I'm going to keep saying Dobbins. What is it? It's Dobbins, right? Hunter Dobbins. I'll correct myself eventually. You know what the problem is? I always see these guys' names on paper, and I come up with my own spelling of it, and then boom. You know what I mean? That's just it for the rest of the time. Maximo. Can we get some claps in the chat for Maximo? Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you becoming a member. That means a lot to me. Thank you. Who am I looking at? You love that you don't think he likes me? You would. Andrew, what was I going to ask you? Chad, what was I just talking about? I'm going to get a suspension on the 10 for talking down to Winky. If I get a suspension on the 10, it may be the highlight of my YouTube career. We were talking about Wink. Yeah. There was something, though. That's going to drive me nuts. I'll remember it in like 2 days and text you. Winkowski so far is 5 innings pitched. He has a 10.08 ERA. Walked 3 batters, struck out 3 batters, given up a home run, 8 hits. The hits per 9 right now is at a 14.4. I don't know, guys. There might be something there. It's 5 innings. It's 5 innings. We'll see what he looks like by the end of spring. Oh, that's what I was going to ask you, Andrew. If you're still in the chat, do you know if he ever got that heel thing fixed? He's a start in AAA. Dude, where, right? I don't want him in the rotation. I'd rather have the rotation be a combination of some of these guys, right? Fitz, Priester, Dobbins. I'd put Brian Van Bell in there. And then Sandlin. Like, those would be 5 guys immediately that I think. Sawamura got a bad rap, and I will stand by that till the end of time. I will. Like, let's compare last season. Dude, it sucks so bad that Josh Winkowski was so good in 2023. He was so good. Josh Winkowski. Andrew. Like, if you look, let's compare. Okay, so Sawamura in his last year with the Red Sox had a 3.73 ERA with a 4.16 FIP. Last year, Josh Winkowski had a 4.14 ERA with a 4.48 FIP. Significantly worse in both categories. Sawamura was striking out 7 per 9. Let's see where Wink was. 7. They're the exact same strikeouts per 9. That's crazy. Walks per 9. Let's see. Sawamura did walk more, and his whip was about the same. I don't know, man. I'll stand by Salamora. He still wasn't good, but he wasn't as bad. He got lumped into that Ryan Brazier. He got lumped into that Ryan Brazier hate fest with Caleb Ort and Richard Blyer and those guys. Was that the same team? God, these sort of like just not good relievers all blend together to me. Like, I probably would have told you Salamora was on last year's team, if we're being honest. Like, they all just sort of blend together. But yeah, I'm taking Salamora over Wink, I think. Or no. I'm not saying Brazier and Ort didn't deserve the hate. They did. My point is, these guys, Salamora kind of got lumped in with these guys. Yeah, I was there for that, Andrew. I remember that. Now Ort is doing really well in Houston, and Ryan Brazier. Who did Ryan Brazier get picked up by? He got traded, didn't he? Who did he get traded to? The Cubs. How's he doing in spring training? Of course he's doing great in spring training. Relievers are super volatile, tough. Yeah, Jason, I agree. But yeah, those guys are both doing really well. I don't know. I wonder what that was about. Dude, Ryan Brazier came in and just like saved the 2021 season. No one talks about it. He was also pretty good in 2023. That's a lie. He was pretty good with the Doyers in 2023. Is Penrod coming back? Yeah, so Penrod doesn't need surgery, which means he will be back at some point, which is fantastic. It was really sounding like he was going to be out for a while, but the fact he doesn't need surgery is really good. I would guess probably a couple months into the season, May, June, maybe. Top 5 velocity guys. Oh man, dude, I don't know. Chapman's 1. Probably Crochet's right under him. Fitz is getting close to a hundo. David Sandlin. I don't know if you count him. Is he on the 40 man? I don't think he's on the 40 man. Is he on the 40 man? No. Luis Guerrero probably up in there. AKA Garrett Crochet. I can't wait for a Garrett Crochet jersey, dude. Hey, I put Luis Guerrero in there. I beat you to it. Chapman, Luis, and Hendricks. I would put Slayton above Hendricks, I think. Right now. What was Slayton averaging on his fastball last year? $96.4. Yeah, I think I put him above Hendricks. What was Hendricks last season? Do they have his last season? I always spell Hendricks CHS or CKS, and I'd forget it's just IKS. Yeah, Hendricks last season he averaged lower. Although 2022 when he was really good, he was averaging 97. If you get back up to that, I'm in. What was Penrod averaging? Wasn't Zach Kelly? He added some velo this offseason. Dobbins is up to 98. Dobbins, oh dude, maybe that's why he doesn't like me. Is it Dobbins or Dobbins? Now I need to know. How have I been saying it? I don't even remember how I've been saying it. Who's our seat closer going into the season? Who do you think is closing towards the end? I think our closer at the beginning of the season is going to end up being a combination of Chapman and Hendricks. I think by the end of the year, Hendricks ends up winning that. Like Dobbins, like it's not like Dobby, right? It's not like Dobbins. Is it like Dobby the house elf? Dobbins? Am I even saying? Hold on, let me not think about it. Dobby. Is that right? Luis Perales? That's wrong? I've been saying Dobbins. Guys. Okay. How do I pronounce Luis Perales? Perales. Yeah, I am saying Dobby from Harry Potter. That's what I'm trying to relate it to. So it's Hunter. It's Hunter, dude. I'm all messed up, chat. This is my problem. This is my problem. It's my biggest Perales. Yeah, so I've been saying Luis Perales. That's how you say it, or is it Luis Perales? Oh, it's Luis Perales, isn't it? Ah, this is what I'm talking about. Perales. Ugh. Password easier. Yeah. I think I think I can pronounce Yostinson Garcia. I think that's right. But then now I'm questioning is it Rafael Devers? Is that correct? I don't know. Words are hard. My problem is that I talk about these guys. So every single person that I've talked to in person, dude, I called Hunter Dobbins. I did it again. I called Hunter Dobbins straight to his face. I'm multiple times actually in Worcester. Over our interview. If you go back and listen to our interview, I called him Dobbins. I called him Dobbins. That's what I'm saying, JK. Because here's the problem, right? Is I only see these names on paper. I watch every Red Sox game. I don't have time to watch every Woo Sox and every Double A game. Certainly not Low A game. So I sit here and I just look at the names on paper, and then I go and I look at highlights and all that good stuff. And then I get put in front of these guys. And now I learned I haven't pronounced a single name right. Perales. Okay. All right. Perales. Guys, I need another because I'm sitting here Dobbins, like Dobby. No. It's see, I know I'm pronouncing him wrong now. Dobbins, Hunter Dobbins. Is that correct? Someone needs to. I need to have someone on. Andrew, I'm dead ass gonna call you right now. We need an answer to this question. Announcers say Dobbins. That's what I thought too. All right, hold on, Andrew. All right, guys. For those of you who don't know, this is Andrew from To the Show Baseball Podcast.
Yeah, I think I'm live, right?
Yeah, you're right here. You're right here. Can you guys hear him? Give me the pronunciation of Hunter Dobbins.
It's Hunter Dobbins.
That's what I've been saying. How have I been saying it wrong?
You've been saying Dobbins.
Oh, for the love of God. Oh my God. I've been saying this. I've been saying that. I said that straight to his face in Worcester last year.
You are the first person I've ever heard say that way, by the way.
How is that possible? It's the way it's spelled.
And I watched your video the other day. The Luis Perales thing made me laugh.
Luis Perales?
It's good. You're close. Like, it's close. But, like, maybe it's just... Dobbins was pretty easy, though. Like, that one was the easy one.
Okay, dude. Okay, dude. Thanks. I can't believe I've been saying it wrong this whole time. I can't believe I've been saying it wrong this whole time. Proper way to say Sox players' names? I might have to. Oh, man. I can't believe this entire time I've been saying it wrong. Cedon? It's definitely Cedon Rafaela. I think I can get any big league name. I can get any big league name. It's the minor league names that get me. Like give me a major league name. I like Major League Red Sox player. I can pronounce it because again I watch every game, so like their announcements are just engraved in my brain. Okay, Connor. Okay, dude. That's what we're doing. We're wrapping up the stream here in a couple of minutes. You're hitting me with Stinson Garcia, which I think I kind of nailed right there. Masataka Yoshida. Yastrzemski. Like these are this is what I'm saying. Like I can nail these. It's Euclid. Kept fumbling Carlos Narvaez. See, I can kill that one too. It is absolutely not Cedon Rafaela. It cannot be Cedon. It's Cedon. It cannot be. Hold on. Red Sox pronunciation guide. Red Sox pronunciation. It's gone. No, it's gone. I got an ad. You guys are confusing me with Cedon. Okay, hold on.
I think that's huge for us as a team.
He has to say his name, right? Someone has to say his name.
I couldn't see the ball perfectly, so first few steps was in, but I knew he put a good swing, so yeah, because I didn't try to make the catch. Yeah, because I didn't the bat, so
Catch you've ever made in center field? Catch you've ever made in center?
Yeah, it was kind of playing, and I put work that day wherever I'm playing, so I think that's my main key. It's fun. It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Didn't say his name once. I'm gonna find it.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance.
My God. Didn't Section 10 a year ago confirm Willier is Villier? I don't think so. No, I've never heard an announcer. Hold on.
Bottom of the second, let's reintroduce everybody to the Red Sox center fielder.
He literally said Cedon. He said Cedon. Case closed. Wrapping it up. He said Cedon. Now that was 10-year-old Cedon. That was still Cedon. Still Cedon. I'm not doing that, Mike. I'm not doing that tonight. We're not doing that tonight. You don't do that to me. Mankiewicz, I think. Doug Mankiewicz. Yeah, it's Cedon. It's Cedon. Cedon Rafaela. I'm right. You guys are wrong. I'm right. Okay. All right. We need to end it here. I'm getting too worked up. Do I tend to watch spring training games? Yeah, if they're available, I'm watching them. Not all of them are available, though, which is unbelievably frustrating. Anyways, chat, I am taking off tonight. It's been a ton of fun tonight, except for these last 20 minutes where I've totally crushed everything I've said for the last. I'm going to go to bed tonight, like Googling how to pronounce these names. I'm never going to be able to pronounce it. I'm just going to go by numbers. Number 48 on the Red Sox did really well yesterday. That's how this is going to go. I don't know. Am I saying Garrett Crochet right? I don't know. Anyways, thank you for scrambling my brain tonight. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here, chatting with me about Red Sox spring training baseball when there's really nothing to talk about. You guys have been hanging in here with me. Shout out Andrew from To The Show Baseball Podcast. Best place to go if you want to really go sort of get a grasp of minor league baseball in general throughout the league. That's the place to go. They're right there on YouTube. Check them out. Shout out Mad. Incredibly generous tonight with the 20 gifted subs. I appreciate you. We're going to have a new goal for next time because I'm just going to do a video game podcast or a video game live stream. I think our next goal is going to be with super chats to get to 30 super chats. And I'm going to try the 9 and 9 challenge live and in person on stream. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, guys, keep an eye out for tomorrow's video. Should be a fun one. Talking a little bit of potential sleepers for the Red Sox roster. If you haven't hit that like button already, make sure you guys do. Helps out a ton. Also, I forgot to mention, which I probably should be promoting more, and I just haven't. You can now watch all of my YouTube videos on Spotify. Going forward, every video is going to be in video form on Spotify. So if you want to listen and watch at the same time, they will be available over there as well. So keep an eye out on that. If you haven't considered subscribing yet, please do. I talk Red Sox almost every single day. I do these once a week as well if you guys are interested in these. Thank you all very much for sticking around and hanging out with me tonight. It's a slow news week, so I appreciate you still being here. And as always, I will see you. Hopefully I pronounce this right. In the red seats.